Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is reliable journo reacts to reports another Liverpool star could follow Diaz to Bayern. Bayern Munich are not interested in signing Liverpool forward Federico Chiesa this summer. The Italian international has been linked with an exit from the Merseyside Giants in the current transfer window. However, the 27-year-old is now believed to be keen on staying put at Anfield for the foreseeable future. Chiesa has registered 5 goal contributions in 15 appearances for Liverpool. Caught offside reported back at the start of August that Liverpool's initial position was that the club was prepared to consider offers for Chiesa. Interest was predominantly arising from Serie A, in particular, Bologna, AC Milan, Napoli, and Atlanta. However, with Arne Slot's men looking short on available senior forwards, it seems the situation has evolved rapidly. This, coupled with an impactful performance against Bournemouth from the bench last Friday, appears to indicate that the footballer won't be departing L4 this summer. It's not true that Liverpool's Federico Chiesa is once again a topic of discussion at FC Bayern, Christian Falk exclusively informed Caught Offside in his Fact Files column. The 27-year-old Italian forward is contracted to Liverpool until the summer of 2028. It should be stated clearly for the record that Bayern never held a serious interest in bringing the former Juventus star to Säbener Straße. Either way, Chiesa has made it clear to the club that he wants to stay at Anfield. Why won't Bayern try and sign Chiesa? Federico Chiesa could offer some versatility in the forward line, being able to play across all 3 positions, but he's primarily effective as a right-sided winger. That's problematic for Bayern and the Italy star, given the Bavarians, similarly to Liverpool, already have a designated starter in Michael Ollis. Beyond that, Vincent Kompany and company also have to consider the fact Lennart Karl is a rising talent with serious designs on playing a role in Bayern's 2025-26 season. Signing Chiesa, though no doubt a highly talented footballer, would immediately block the 17-year-old's pathway. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is Liverpool looking into signing Brazilian wonderkid with brilliant name as official offer is rejected. If there is one area of Liverpool's transfer strategy that badly needs improving, it is how they scout and sign players in South America. The Reds are one of the most wily operators in the European game, with every move analyzed and thought out in the most minute detail. However, while some of their Premier League rivals have become more adept at picking up young talents from Brazil, Argentina and Ecuador, Liverpool have lagged behind. There have been many rumors over the years that the Reds are close to signing this talent or that wonder kid, but it has simply never happened. Nevertheless, there were claims in 2024 that Liverpool are stepping up their scouting in South America, with a particular focus on Brazil. And as they scour the nation for its best young talents, Liverpool have reportedly stumbled upon a tricky midfielder who they are looking into signing. Liverpool inquire over Isak's signing. If Liverpool can get their scouting right in South America, they can pinch talents who can save them tens of millions further down the line. Brazil is often where superstars are born, and according to Globo, the Reds have their eye on a potential world beater in the making. Fluminense Isak Severino Silva. As Liverpool continue to push to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle, the name of this special midfield talent is sure to make many a fan chuckle. It is different, but the same. As per Globo, though, Liverpool's pursuit of Isak may unfortunately go the same way as their hopes of signing Isak look to be heading. Nowhere. They claim that while Liverpool joined Manchester United in inquiring about a deal to sign the 18-year-old, they have not taken their interest further as yet. Ukrainian side Shakhtar Donetsk, famed for excelling in the Brazilian market, have reportedly saw a bid of around £6 million rejected by Fluminense. Who is Isak Severino Silva? If Liverpool cannot sign Isak this summer, then perhaps fans will be content with Isak instead? Unlikely. Nevertheless, the teenager is clearly a big talent who Globo claim is being seen as a gem internally at Fluminense. A star for Flu's youth sides in recent times, Isak has played 12 times for the senior team, including against Chelsea at this summer's Club World Cup. With a contract recently signed until 2029, it is likely to cost much more to get Isak out of Rio de Janeiro. Liverpool have far too often missed out on these talents when they come onto the market. They are clearly interested in this tricky and elegant midfielder, but unless they step up their pursuit, they may be left to rue another one that got away. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our third news is Liverpool set for meeting with the agent of Real Madrid forward Rodrygo Goes. Liverpool are interested in signing Alexander Isak from Newcastle United, but the Swedish international's transfer is becoming increasingly difficult with the Magpies struggling to find a suitable replacement. In spite of the forward and his club releasing public statements, it is difficult to foresee a switch to Anfield falling in place, and with that in mind, the Reds could shift their focus towards signing Real Madrid superstar Rodrygo Goes. According to journalist Jorge Nicola, hat-tip goal, Liverpool are set for a meeting with Rodrygo's agent after he has flown into England. Manchester City are also expected to hold talks with the representative in concern. Pep Guardiola admires Rodrygo but would only sign him in the event of Savinho's departure, and considering Tottenham Hotspur have not advanced interest in him, a swoop for the Real Madrid man might not materialize this summer either. Liverpool could have a clear path to sign Rodrygo. Having sold Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz to Al Hilal and Bayern Munich, respectively, coupled with Diogo Jota's tragic passing, Arne Slot revealed last week that he believes Liverpool require another offensive acquisition. Rodrygo Goes would be the ideal signing for them, considering he is a specialist left-winger, and unlike signing Alexander Isak and accommodating Hugo Ekitike on the flank, they would be bolstered by a cheaper and more lethal out-wide forward. The Brazilian has not started in any of Real Madrid's last 6 matches and was an unused substitute in their La Liga opener against Osasuna, although Xabi Alonso continued to maintain that he does count on him in the grand scheme of things. With the prospect of playing regular minutes at Anfield, it will be interesting to see if Rodrygo is willing to battle it out for a place in the team at the Santiago Bernabéu or off the back of no minutes against Osasuna. He believes the die is cast and leaves the club. Los Blancos are not expected to stand in his way should he want to leave, but the forward remains very highly rated by the board members and therefore, he would not be explicitly asked to leave either. The club is also set for a meeting with the agent of Real Madrid forward Rodrygo Goes as Arne Slot looks to boost his attack. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our fourth news is Newcastle launch move for £60 million Prem striker as Liverpool ready decisive Isak bid. Newcastle are one of 3 high-profile clubs now pushing to sign a £60m rated striker at a time when Liverpool are preparing a decisive new bid for Alexander Isak, according to reports. The future of Isak has dominated the headlines up at St James' Park, and Newcastle's stance in public has not changed. Isak is not for sale. However, with Isak refusing to play for the club ever again, there is a firm belief Newcastle will sell if Liverpool come closer to meeting their £150 million valuation. According to Sky Sports reporter Keith Downey, the 2 conditions that will prompt Newcastle to reluctantly greenlight Isak's sale is Liverpool offering more money and Newcastle signing 2 strikers of their own. On the former, Team Talks transfer insider, Dean Jones, has been informed Liverpool are readying a new and improved offer worth somewhere in the £120 million to £130 million range. The Reds' first bid comprised £110 million plus add-ons. But of course, Liverpool also need Newcastle to sign new strikers before they can finally land Isak, and that has proved frustratingly difficult for Eddie Howe's side thus far. A £40 million bid for Yoane Wissa, viewed as the replacement for Callum Wilson, was rejected by Brentford earlier this week. Newcastle are assessing whether to bid again but believe Brentford's £60 million valuation would represent a colossal overpayment. Elsewhere, Team Talk brought news earlier in August of Newcastle exploring a move for Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. The latest from Fabrizio Romano has backed up our reporting, and the transfer guru revealed all on the £60M rated striker's future. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Romano reaffirmed Jackson will leave Chelsea in the final 10 days of the window. Jackson is fully expected to depart, and a crazy race for his signature is now unfolding. Newcastle among three pushing for Nicholas Jackson. AC Milan hoped to sign Jackson before ultimately settling for the cheaper Victor Boniface. Napoli have maintained interest in Jackson throughout the window. However, three other clubs, Newcastle, Aston Villa and Bayern Munich, have all made calls to explore the conditions of a deal within the last 48 hours. Contact with Jackson's camp has also been established from all of the trio. Villa cannot afford the £60 million Chelsea are demanding for Jackson and instead prefer a loan move. Chelsea are prioritizing a permanent sale, thus handing an advantage to Newcastle. Bayern may appeal to Jackson, but a move to Munich would almost certainly mean spending time on the bench. Harry Kane leads the line for Bayern right now, and Jackson's arrival won't change that. As such, and with the promise of regular starts and Champions League football on offer, Newcastle do look well placed to sign Jackson if they can agree a deal with Chelsea. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe. Our fifth news is Alexander Isak to Liverpool swap transfer proposal has Alan Shearer rolling his eyes. Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer discussed the Alexander Isak transfer saga ahead of Newcastle and Liverpool's Premier League clash on Monday, which will see Hugo Ekitike face the side he snubbed. Alan Shearer was left rolling his eyes after Gary Lineker joked that Newcastle should swap Alexander Isak for Liverpool's Hugo Ekitike. There is now just over a week left of the summer transfer window, and it is still unclear how the toxic Isak transfer saga will end. The 25-year-old striker is in the midst of a standoff with Newcastle, who he joined 3 years ago, as he hopes to secure a move to Liverpool. Isak has made it clear to the Magpies that he wants to leave and was the subject of a £110 million bid from the Reds earlier this month, which was quickly rejected. Newcastle are adamant he will not leave unless a bid in the region of £150 million comes in. But it is unlikely Liverpool will return with such an offer, given that they have already spent around £300 million on players this summer, including £79 million on former Magpies target Ekitike. Isak was absent from Newcastle's pre-season and has since been training alone. The Swede released a bombshell statement earlier this week in which he claimed Newcastle had broken promises and implied he would not feature for Eddie Howe's side again. The forward will therefore not be involved in Liverpool's visit to Newcastle on Monday, though the North East club insisted in a statement of their own that they'll welcome Isak back when he's ready to rejoin his teammates. With his current club and the side he hoped to join facing off in the Premier League, Gary Lineker pointed out on the latest episode of the Rest is Football podcast, guess who's playing at the weekend? It's mad. The fixture list sometimes does this beautifully. Newcastle versus Liverpool, of course it is. Shearer said he would be attending the St James Park clash before adding, it's a bit tasty anyway, Newcastle versus Liverpool. So this is a bit of added spice. It will be an incredible atmosphere. Lineker then jokingly teased the Magpies legend by asking, why don't you do a swap deal? For Ekitike. Just to stir things up a little bit. Shearer rolled his eyes while laughing in bemusement and said, oh, God. Lineker added, oh, sorry. But you've got to try to see the funny side of these things. It's brutal for fans and you're a fan, Alan. While Isak missed Newcastle's Premier League opener against Aston Villa last weekend, a 0-0 draw, Ekitike scored his second competitive goal for the Reds in his second game, showing the caliber of player Newcastle missed out on. Many Magpies supporters had deemed the Frenchman a potential replacement for Isak. The fact that they missed out on Ekitike's signature, along with players such as Benjamin Sesko and João Pedro, is also a big factor in them not wanting to part ways with Isak this late in the window. Newcastle made a move for Ekatike in July but had their £70 million bid rejected by Eintracht Frankfurt, with the player reportedly set on joining Liverpool. The striker is expected to receive a hostile reception on Monday night, and, despite Isak's absence, the two sides meeting after a summer of drama is set to be a tantalizing one. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our last news is Liverpool forward rejected Bayern Munich move during Luis Diaz transfer. Luis Diaz left Liverpool this summer as Arne Slot oversaw a complete overhaul of his attacking options at Anfield. The Colombian joined Bayern Munich in a £65.5 million deal, ending a 3.5-year spell with the Reds, wherein he won every domestic trophy on offer. Indeed, Diaz wanted a lucrative contract extension, but once it became apparent that no offer was forthcoming, he opened the door for a move to Germany. Diaz was not the only significant attacking departure this summer, as not long after, Darwin Núñez completed a move to Al Hilal following a turbulent spell with the Reds. Federico Chiesa rejected a move to Bayern Munich. According to Bayern Space, the Bayern Munich insider on X who first broke the news of Florian Wirtz's decision to join Liverpool, revealed that the Bundesliga giants also explored the possibility of signing Federico Chiesa during the negotiations for Diaz. Writing, Max Eberl and Christoph Freund reached out to Fellaini Ramadani in recent hours, hoping to explore the possibility of bringing Federico Chiesa to Bayern Munich. The move was inspired by Jan Christian Driesen, who had leaned on his connection from the Luis Diaz negotiations with Richard Hughes to discreetly inquire whether Liverpool might consider a loan. Liverpool did not dismiss the suggestion outright, and Bayern, misreading hesitation for opportunity, convinced themselves there was a path forward. The response they received could not have been more decisive. Ramadani reiterated the same message he had already given to Liverpool weeks earlier, that Chiesa's commitment to Anfield is total and unwavering. There would be no negotiations, no second thoughts, no hesitation. Chiesa himself went so far as to refuse any direct conversation with Eberl, Freund or Vincent Kompany, leaving Bayern's proposal unheard and swiftly discarded. For Bayern, this was another rejection, and internally it is viewed as an especially painful one given the circumstances. The club is now struggling to convince players who are not even regular starters at their current sides, a reality that has become difficult to ignore inside Säbener Strasse. Chiesa, who has only had limited minutes at Liverpool, still showed no interest whatsoever, with his agent Fellaini Ramadani making the refusal clear from the outset. Those involved admit it was more than just a simple no, it was a quiet humiliation, a stark reminder that Bayern's name no longer carries the same power to attract, not even when the target is a player fighting for game time elsewhere. Chiesa changed the game for Liverpool as he scored his first Premier League goal in the 88th minute against the Cherries to restore the hosts' lead. Although the Italian has developed cult hero status at Anfield, the Reds were open to selling Chiesa this summer, and his immediate impact off the bench does feel like a turning point for the player. Liverpool may have lost the 2025 Carabao Cup final against Newcastle, but the supporters will remember Chiesa's impact. The 27-year-old was introduced at Wembley with the Reds trailing by 2 goals and managed to score a late consolation goal to give his side hope of overturning the deficit. Meanwhile, Chiesa was barely included in the matchday squad at Anfield last season, but with less competition to contend with this time around, there will be plenty of opportunities for him to impress moving forward. Liverpool supporters love Chiesa and his chant, which has drawn controversy in recent days. None will question the decision to allow the player to fight for his place at Anfield, even at Bayern Munich's expense. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.